بر محمد و آل محمد صلوات. اللهم صل على محمد و آل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد و آل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد و آل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. عن جابر بن عبد الله الأنصاري عن فاطمة الزهراء عليها السلام بنت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله قال سمعت فاطمة أنها قال دخل علي برسول الله في بعض الأيام فقال السلام عليك يا فاطمة. فقلت عليك السلام. قال إني أجد في بدني ضعفا. فقلت له أعيذك بالله يا أبتاه من الضعف. فقال يا فاطمة ائتيني بالكساء اليماني فغطيني به. فأتيته بالكساء اليماني فغطيته به وصرت أنظر إليه وإذا وجهه يتلألأ كأنه بدر في ليلة تمامه وكماله. فما كانت إلا ساعة وإذا بولدي الحسن قد أقبل وقال السلام عليك يا أماه. فقلت وعليك السلام يا قرة عيني وثمرة فؤادي. فقال يا أماه إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة جد رسول الله. فقلت نعم إن جدك تحت الكساء. فأقبل الحسن نحو الكساء وقال السلام عليك يا جداه يا رسول الله أتأذن لي أن أدخل معك تحت الكساء. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. فقال وعليك السلام يا ولدي ويا صاحب حوزي قد أذنت لك. فدخل معه تحت الكساء فما كانت إلا ساعة وإذا بي ولدي الحسين قد أقبل وقال السلام عليك يا أماه. فقلت وعليك السلام يا ولدي ويا قرة عيني وثمرة فؤادي. فقال لي يا أماه إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة جد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله. فقلت نعم إن جدك وخاك تحت الكساء. فدر الحسين نحو الكساء وقال السلام عليك يا جداه يا السلام عليك يا من اختاره الله وتأذن لي أن أكون معكما تحت الكساء. وعليك السلام يا ولدي ويا شافع أمتي قد أذنت لك. فدخل معهما تحت الكساء. فأقبل عند ذلك أبو الحسن علي بن أبي طالب وقال السلام عليك يا بنت رسول الله. فقلت وعليك السلام يا أبا الحسن ويا أمير المؤمنين. فقال يا فاطمة إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة أخي وابن عم رسول الله. فقلت نعم ها هو مع ولديك تحت الكساء. فأقبل علي نحو الكساء وقال السلام عليك يا رسول الله أتأذن لي أن أكون معكم تحت الكساء. قال له عليك السلام يا أخي يا وسي وخليفته وصاحب اللواء قد أذنت لك. فدخل علي تحت الكساء ثم أتيت نحو الكساء وقلت السلام عليك يا أبتاه يا رسول الله أتأذن لي أن أكون معكم تحت الكساء. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. قال وعليك السلام يا بنتي ويا بزعتي قد أذنت لك. فدخلت تحت الكساء فلما اكتملنا جميعا تحت الكساء أخذ برسول الله بطرف الكساء وأومى بيده اليمنى إلى السماء وقال اللهم إن هؤلاء أهل بيتي وخاصتي وحامتي لحمهم لحمي ودمهم دمي يؤلمني ما يؤلمهم ويحزنني ما يحزنهم. أنا حرب لمن حاربهم وسلم لمن سالمهم وعدو لمن عاداهم ومحب لمن أحبهم. إنهم مني وأنا منهم. فاجعل صلواتك وبركاتك ورحمتك وغفرانك ورضوانك علي وعليهم واذهب عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. فقال الله عز وجل يا ملائكتي ويا سكان سماواتي إنما خلقت سماء مبنية ولا أرضا مدحية ولا قمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مضيئة ولا فلكا يدور ولا بحرا يجري ولا فلكا يسري إلا في محبتي هؤلاء الخمسة الذين هم تحت الكساء. فقال الأمين جبرائيل يا ربي ومن تحت الكساء؟ فقال عز وجل هم أهل بيت النبوة ومعدن الرسالة هم فاطمة وأبوها وبعلها وبنوها. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. فقال جبرائيل يا ربي أتأذن لي أن أهبط إلى الأرض ليكون معهم سادسا؟ فقال الله نعم قد أذنت لك. فهبط الأمين جبرائيل وقال السلام عليك يا رسول الله العلي الأعلى يقرئك السلام ويخصك بالتحية والإكرام ويقول لك وعزتي وجلالي إني ما خلقت سماء مبنية ولا أرضا مدية ولا قمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مزية ولا فلكا يدور ولا بحرا يجري ولا فلكا يسري إلا لأجلكم ومحبتكم وقد أذن لي أن أدخل معكم فهل تأذن لي يا رسول الله؟ فقال رسول الله وعليك السلام يا من وحي الله إنه نعم قد أذنت لك. فدخل جبرائيل معنا تحت الكساء. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. فقال لأبي إن الله قد أوحى إليكم يقول إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. فقال علي لأبي يا رسول الله أخبرني ما لجلوسنا هذا تحت الكساء من الفضل عند الله؟ فقال النبي والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واصطفاني بالرسالة نجيا ما ذكر خبرنا هذا في محفل من محافل أهل الأرض وفيه جمع من شيعتنا ومحبينا إلا ونزلت عليهم الرحمة وحفت بهم الملائكة واستغفرت لهم إلى أن يتفرقوا. فقال علي إذن والله فزنا وفاز شيعتنا ورب الكعبة. فقال النبي ثانيا يا علي والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واصطفاني بالرسالة نجيا ما ذكر خبرنا هذا في محفل من محافل أهل الأرض وفيه جمع من شيعتنا ومحبينا وفيهم مهموم إلا وفرج الله همه ولا مغموم إلا وكشف الله غمه ولا طالب حاجة إلا وقضى الله حاجته. فقال علي إذن والله فزنا وسعدنا وكذلك شيعتنا فازوا وسعدوا في الدنيا والآخرة ورب الكعبة. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
جزاک اللہ جزاک اللہ. بر محمد وآل محمد صلوات. بار دیگر نعرے صلوات. بر حبیب خدا ختم الانبیاء امام زمانہ بلند تر صلوات. اعوذ باللہ من الشیطان الرجیم. بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم. خواتین و حضرات, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. As you know, tonight we are celebrating the auspicious birth of our fifth Imam, Imam Muhammad Baqir alayhi salam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. And our 10th Imam, Imam Ali Naqi alayhi salam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our ibadah tonight on this auspicious evening, and we thank everybody who is here to attend tonight. As always, we are going to start with the Urdu part of the program, which will have our Urdu reciters who will recite Urdu poetry in praise of Ahlul Bayt particularly Imam Baqir and Imam Naqi alayhi salam. And with that, ایک صلوات پڑھیے علی محمد و آل محمد. اس سے پہلے کہ میں پہلے منقبت خواں کو میں دعوت دوں اس میلاد کا آغاز کرنے کے لیے، اگر اجازت ہو حضرت بھائی 4 مصرے ہیں امام باقر کی ولادت کی شان میں. ایک اور صلوات علی محمد و آل محمد. عرض ہے کہ حسین بھی مسکرا رہے ہیں، حسین بھی مسکرا رہے ہیں، سجاد خوشیاں منا رہے ہیں. حسین بھی مسکرا رہے ہیں، سجاد خوشیاں منا رہے ہیں. بطول کے گھر میں ہے جشن، بطول کے گھر میں ہے جشن، امام باقر جو آ رہے ہیں. اس سے پہلے اسی کے ساتھ میں دعوت دوں گا جناب حسن جعفری صاحب سے کہ وہ آئیں اور مولا کی بارگاہ میں نذران عقیدت پیش کریں. بر محمد و آل محمد صلوات.
تمام مومنین اور مومنات کو جشن صادقین امام محمد باقر اور امام علی النقی بہت بہت مبارک ہو. ایک مرتبہ درود بھیج دیے محمد و آل چند اشعار امام باقر کی مدح کے، اس کے بعد پھر چند اشعار امام علی نقی. ایک مرتبہ اور درود بھیج محمد و خدا کا حلم مجسم ہوا ہے باقر میں، خدا کا حلم مجسم ہوا ہے باقر میں، کہ عابدین کو اجر مل گیا ہے باقر میں، خدا کا حلم مجسم. چلے زمین پہ تو پھر چاند عابدین دیکھو، کبھی نماز کی حالت میں ساجدین دیکھو، حسین سارے کا سارا چھپا ہے باقر میں، خدا کا حلم مجسم. اسی کا نور فلک میں شگاف کیوں نہ کرے، خدا کا کعبہ تیرے گھر طواف کیوں نہ کرے، علی ہی تم کو دوبارہ ملا ہے باقر میں، علی ہی تم کو دوبارہ ملا ہے باقر میں، خدا کا حلم مجسم ہوا ہے باقر میں. کہ عابدین کو اجر مل گیا ہے باقر میں. ایک درود بھیجیے محمد وال. منقبت کے چند اشعار مدح میں جناب امام نقی، امام تقی اور امام حسن عسکری کی مدح ان سب اشعار میں شامل. ایک درود بھیجیے محمد وال. آج عالم میں نقی کا جانشین پیدا ہوا. آج عالم میں نقی کا جانشین پیدا ہوا. اور مصطفیٰ کا 11واں مسند نشین پیدا ہوا. آج عالم میں نقی کا اور ہو گیا روشن نقی کے چاند سے سارا جہاں. ہو گیا روشن نقی کے چاند سے سارا جہاں. اور ہے تقی مسرور پوتا مہجبیں پیدا ہوا. آج عالم میں نقی کا اور شور ہے صلوات کا، غل ہے مبارک باد کا. شور ہے صلوات کا، غل ہے مبارک باد کا. اور خوش ہے ماں اور باپ فرزند حزین پیدا ہوا. آج عالم میں نقی کا اور خلد میں مسرور ہیں روح علی و فاطمہ. خلد میں مسرور ہیں روح علی و فاطمہ. اور مرتضیٰ کا آج 10واں جانشین پیدا ہوا. آج عالم میں نقی کا اور 13ویں معصوم کی میلاد کا ہے جشن. آج 13ویں معصوم کی میلاد کا ہے جشن. آج شاد ہیں سب مومنی سلطان دین پیدا ہوا. آج عالم میں نقی کا اور آخری شعر ہے. امت جد کو حسینی بخشوانے کے حسینی بخشوانے کے لیے 11واں سب کا مددگار و محب پیدا ہوا آج عالم میں نقی کا
جزاک اللہ. یہ تھے جناب حسن جعفری صاحب. ان کی صحت و سلامتی کے لیے ایک اور بلند تر نعرہ صلوات. اس سے پہلے کہ ہم آگے بڑھیں, let us recognize آج کے جو اسپانسرز ہیں, آج کی جو محفل میلاد کے جو اسپانسرز ہیں وہ ہیں ہمارے آج کے اسپانسرز ہیں ڈاکٹر فہیم اینڈ ڈاکٹر فرحین عالم, مسٹر شہریار اینڈ مسز آسمہ حیدر اینڈ مسٹر حسین اینڈ مسز طاہرہ علی. ان کے مرحومین کے لیے, آپ سب کے مرحومین کے لیے, اور جن کا کوئی پڑھنے والا نہیں ہے, ایک سورہ فاتحہ. بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم. الحمدللہ رب العالمین. ایک اور صلوات پڑھی علی محمد و آل محمد. 4 مصرے ہیں. ملاحظہ فرمائیے کہ رجب کی 5ویں گھر گھر پیام لائی ہے. رجب کی 5ویں گھر گھر پیام لائی ہے, تقی کے پاک چمن میں بہار آئی ہے. رجب کی 5ویں گھر گھر پیام لائی ہے, تقی کے پاک چمن میں بہار آئی ہے. نقی امام کی آمد پہ خوش حلالی ہیں. نقی امام کی آمد پہ خوش حلالی ہیں. یہ عید مل کے علی والوں نے منائی ہے. اسی کے ساتھ اب میں دعوت دیتا ہوں جناب سید اظہر حسن صاحب سے کہ وہ آئیں اور مولا کی بارگاہ میں اپنا کلام پیش کریں. بر محمد و آل محمد صلوات. اینڈ مائی ڈیئر بردرز اینڈ سسٹرز, حضرات میں جانتا ہوں اگر زیادہ لوگ تو نہیں ہیں, بٹ اگر کائنڈلی تھوڑا سا آگے آ جائیے گا, جسٹ کم اے لٹل بٹ فارورڈ, تاکہ ایک محفل کا ماحول بھی ہو جائے گا اور پڑھنے کے والے کے لیے بھی حوصلہ افزائی ہو جائے گی. ایک اور صلوات علی محمد و آل محمد. بہت بہت شکریہ.
آپ سب کو جشن صادقین مبارک ہو, اور ایک صلوات بآواز بلند. دو شعر پیش کروں گا اور اس میں کوشش کروں گا امام نقی علیہ السلام کا نام ہو, اور دوسرے میں جو ایک منقبت ہے وہ حضرت باقر علیہ السلام کے حوالے سے. صلوات بھیجے بآواز بلند. علی کے نام سے خوشبو خلد آتی ہے. علی کے نام سے خوشبو خلد آتی ہے. نقی کے نام سے خوشبو خلد آتی ہے. مہکتے محفل حیدر بھی جھوم جاتی ہے. علی کے نام سے خوشبو خلد آتی ہے. مہکتے محفل حیدر بھی جھوم جاتی ہے. بہت ہی صاحب ایمان ہے علی والے بہت ہی صاحب ایمان ہے علی والے سکون دل میں لہد ان کی جگ مگاتی ہے مہکتے محفل حیدر بھی جھوم جاتی ہے اللہ یا علی مدد صلوات بھیجے بابا جی بلا ایک اور صلوات بھیجے بابا جی بلا علوم آل محمد کا آسماں باقر علوم آل محمد کا آسماں باقر علوم آل محمد کا آسماں باقر رموز کون و مکان کا ہے رازداں باقر علی کا روپ ہے یہ منبر سلونی میں علی کا روپ ہے یہ منبر سلونی پر دیار جہل میں ہے علم کی اذاں باقر دیار جہل میں ہے یہ علم کی اذاں باقر اور پہنچ نہ پائیں گے افکار اس کے ساحل پر پہنچ نہ پائیں گے افکار اس کے ساحل پر فضیلتوں کا ہے ایک بحر بے کراں باقر اور بکھرتے جاتے ہیں شعروں میں نور کے جلوے بکھرتے جاتے ہیں شعروں میں نور کے جلوے ہے آسمان تخیل کی کہکشاں باقر ہے آسمان تخیل کی کہکشاں باقر علوم آل محمد کا آسماں باقر رموز کون و مکان کا ہے رازداں باقر صلوات بھیجیں بابا جی بلا
جزاک اللہ جزاک اللہ ہمارے سید اعظم بھائی کے لیے صحت و سلامتی کے لیے ایک اور صلوات علی محمد و آل محمد. ایک اور صلوات علی محمد و آل محمد. ہمارے منقبت خواں جو ہیں حسن بھائی، ہمارے حسن بھائی آپ کا شکر گزار ہیں کہ آپ نے آئے، مولا کی بارگاہ میں آپ نے نذران عقیدت پیش کی، اور اللہ تعالیٰ آپ کی توفیقات میں اضافہ فرمائے، آپ سب کی توفیقات میں اضافہ فرمائے، اور ہمیں کوئی غم نہ دے سوائے غم حسین کے، اور اسی طرح ہم رسول آل رسول کی کے غم اور خوشیاں اسی طرح ہم مناتے رہیں. اسی کے ساتھ میں with that I would now like to request our very own Maulana Syed Rizwan Rizvi to come up tonight and to address this auspicious occasion. Please welcome him with salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. بار دیگر نعرے صلوات بر حبیب خدا ختم الانبیاء نعرے صلوات.
تھوڑا آگے آ جائیں آپ تو ایک نعرے صلوات کے ساتھ. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي قصرت عن رؤيته أبصار الناظرين وعجزت عن نعته أوهام الواصفين. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين خاتم النبيين أبي القاسم محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. أما بعد فقد قال محمد ابن علي محمد الباقر عليه الصلاة والسلام: بني الإسلام على خمس: على الصلاة والزكاة والصوم والحج والولاية، ولم يناد بشيء كما نودي بالولاية. صلوات الله محمد وآل محمد. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Greetings and felicitations on this very auspicious occasion, which is the first day of month of Rajab al-Murajab. It is also marks the Wiladat and the birth of our fifth Imam, Imam Muhammad al-Baqir alayhi salatu wassalam. And tonight also is the Shab and the night of the Wiladat of our 10th Imam, Imam Ali Naqi al-Hadi alayhi salatu wassalam. And therefore, on this very auspicious occasion, this very auspicious month, which is a month we spoke briefly about on Thursday night, speaking of some of the merits that rawayat and hadith have mentioned in reference to how this is a month which is called the month of Rajab, Shahrul Asam. The word Asam, with alif, swad, and mim, comes from the root sum or samma, which means, summun bukmun, as you have the ayat of Quran, where someone is deaf, cannot hear anything. Why the month is referred to that? Because the time of Jahiliyyah, even the sounds of the swords would not be heard in this month. Even the people of the ignorant era would do the ta'zeem of this month so much that they would put away their asliha and their weapons. And so the sound of their weapons striking with each other would not be heard. Therefore the month was called Shahrul Asam, the month of Rajab. And when Islam came, it only added into the grandeur, taqaddus, and the exalted nature of this month by calling it to be Arba'atun Hurum, that this month is amongst the 4 sacred months out of the 12 months that we have. I know this is takrar, pretty much every year I say these things in the beginning of this month of Rajab, but it just requires, reminder. Because as humans, we can only retain so much, and we can only retain for so long. And therefore a lot of these things have to be reminded over and over for it to be a refresher for us, so that when next time it comes around, we're able to appreciate it better. And therefore it is important why it is mentioned to be one of the 4 months that are sacred. The reason is that these are the months in which qital, fighting, or any sort of, conflict was supposed to be halted, stopped. This was something which was being practiced in the time of Jahiliyyah. They respected it. Of course, when these are the wars that are prolonging for many, many months, they need a break. They said, what is a better time to put a break? To be the month of Rajab. And therefore this month was sacred from the very beginning. They would not engage into any war. When Islam came, what did it do? Islam added to this sacredness. It said if anyone did engage in any of these, ordeals or conflicts or whatnot, then they would have to pay a penalty. And if anyone took life of another individual, of course by mistake, because if you take a life on purpose, then there's a death penalty right there. But by mistake, then the diyat or the blood money would be doubled as well. This is to keep in mind the sacredness of this month. Of course, this is one of the 4. The 3 are on the trot: Dhul Qada, Dhul Hijjah, and Muharramul Haram. And then you have the month of Rajab. What I wanted to discuss tonight, in the light of the Wiladat of 2 Imams. Of course, this is a very important month in the Shia Islamic calendar, primarily because of the Wiladat of Amirul Mu'mineen, Imam al-Muttaqeen, Ali ibn Abi Talib, which will take place on the 13th day of this month. But before that, you have the Wiladat of 5th Imam, and you have the Wiladat of 10th Imam. And all of them are, as far as our understanding is concerned, part of the Usul-e-Din, which is discussing the imamat. I recently started this series for Jummah, where we spoke about Tawheed a few weeks ago. And this past Jummah, we spoke about the Adalat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inshallah, we'll discuss Nubuwwat. But while we have this time on the Wiladat of our Imams, I thought it would be appropriate if we discussed imamat as well. Because we have an understanding of what imamat is. We believe in imam. But sometimes very basic understanding of Tawheed and Adalat and Nubuwwat and Imamat and Qiyamat is something what we have grasped or understood. While there is a detailed discussion pertaining to all of this, and if you adhere to that, you'll appreciate these concepts even more. Because we are the only madhab in all of the madhahib, in the divine religions and within Islam, all the other sects, which believes in the concept of imamat the way we believe in it. Other mazahib have the concept of imamat, but they don't believe in imamat the way we believe in imamat. How do we believe in imamat? We believe in imamat to be part of the usul. And it is part of your iman, part of your belief system. Without the belief of imamat, you're incomplete. Amal are incomplete. You need to have the firm belief in all of these 5 usul in order for your furu to be accepted. You say, well, that's a big statement. What is the proof of that? We understand as far as the tawheed of Allah is concerned. We understand as far as the belief in nubuwwat is concerned. We understand as far as the belief in qayamat is concerned. With these 3 beliefs, your actions and amal, they have to be in line. But imamat, what is the proof of that? Proof of that is the riwayat that I shared with you from our 5th Imam, Imam Muhammad Baqir alayhi salatu wasalam. Imam said, Buniyal Islamu ala khamsin. Buniya means the foundation of Islam is on 5 things. What are these 5 things? As-salat, which is part of your furu. Was-zakat, which is also a part of your furu. Was-sawm, which is also part of your furu. Wal-hajj, which is also part of your furu. Wal-walaya. And last, Imam mentions, which might be ambiguous to many. I know salat, I know sawm, I know hajj, I know zakat. These are the things that I practice. But what is this thing, wilayat, that Imam is speaking of? And then Imam makes this statement, وَلَمْ يُنَادَ بِشَيْءٍ كَمَا نُودِيَ بِوَلَايَةٍ. Meaning what? Undermining, in my words, the first 4, that Allah does not call upon the first 4 the way He calls upon the last one, which is the walayat. What is this walayat? This is the discussion. Belief in the imamat. Now, of course, we all believe in the imams, ma'asum, and their imamat. But how firm is this belief? That's where the litmus test is. That's what we need to elaborate and understand. In order to understand that, we look at a riwayat, again from our 5th Imam. Who's the narrator of this? Jabir al-Ju'fi, who narrates from 5th Imam. 5th Imam said to him, قال يا جابر بلغ شيعتي عني السلام. You know, sometimes when we have the belief in imams, there comes a time when people start looking at imamat a free pass into paradise. Stay with me. It's a free pass into paradise. I believe in imams. That's it. That's all I need. Is belief enough? I believe in Allah. Is that enough? I believe in Tawheed, is that enough? I believe in Nubuwwat, is that enough? I believe in Qayamat, is that enough? I believe in Imamat, is that enough? This is from the tongue of 5th Imam himself. What does he say? He says, Ya Jabir, Balligh Shiyati anni salam. First and foremost, Imam is conveying his salam to you and I. Just know your worth. You know, how do I narrate this to you? How do I tell you this? When you know someone, if you and I are from the same hometown, I visited the hometown, I came back to US, and I come to you and say, oh, by the way, remember that person who lived over there in our hometown? He sent salam to you. You say, oh, mashallah, he remembered me. Convey my salam to them as well. We convey the salams, long distance salam all the time. Now imagine if this person, you visited Najaf, and the marja sends salam to you, says, when you go back, please convey my salam to so-and-so, by name. I come back and say, by the way, I was in Najaf, I met Marja, and he said, convey my salam to brother so-and-so. Oh, he remembers me. We had this one interaction a long time ago, but I did not think he would remember my name. You feel special. Now imagine if we were living in the time of Hadir Imam, and you go see this Hadir Imam, and this Imam says, by the way, convey my message to my Shia. Just imagine, how should you be feeling? When an ordinary person sends salam to you, you feel out of this world. When a Marja Taqleed sends salam to you, you feel so proud. Here, Imam Masoom is conveying his salam to you. This is something which is unimaginary. So Imam says, convey my salam to my Shia. So know your worth. Your Imam is sending salam to you. Then he says, وَأَعْلِمْهُمْ, and then make sure they understand. Salam to them, and then make sure that they understand. أَنَّهُ لَا قَرَابَةَ بَيْنَنَا وَبَيْنَ اللَّهِ. We don't have a family relations with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is not related to us in terms of family. I'm related to you as a Muslim brother. You might be related to someone as your, paternal cousin or maternal cousin or so on and so forth. Imam said, don't think that Allah is related to us. That we have a, Na'udhu billah, Allah is lam yakun wa lam yalid wa lam yulad. There's no relationship that anyone has with Allah. But don't think that we have qarabat, meaning what? Rishtedari with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَلَا يُتَقَرَّبُ إِلَيْهِ, and no one can seek closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala illa bitta'a, except by obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if you want closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what do you need? Obedience you need. Ya Jabir, man ata Allah, whoever obeyed Allah, wa ahabbana, look here where Imam adds, and who also shows love to us. He has mawaddat for us, Ahlul Bayt, and he does the ita'at of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Meaning what? Our mawaddat coupled with the ita'at of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is what the nuskha Imam is giving to us. Whoever does the ita'at of Allah and loves us on top. So don't think that ita'at itself is enough. Love has to be included with it. فَهُوَ وَلِيُّنَا, then that person is amongst our muwali. وَمَنْ عَصَى اللَّهَ لَمْ يَنْفَعْهُ حُبُّنَا. But the one who disobeys Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he can claim however much he wants to love us, but this love will not benefit them. If I say this, say, well, here goes a muqassir. No, these are the words of Imam Masoom. He said, my love will not be sufficient if you continue to disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't think I have a direct line relationship with Allah. He's my rishtedar. No, we will do your shafa'at, but do play your role as well, as far as the obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is concerned. So for that to happen, what do we need to understand? We need to understand the concept of imamat. Love and wilayat are very important, but not sufficient by themselves, as mentioned in this riwayat that I shared with you from our fifth Imam, Imam Muhammad Baqir alayhi salatu wasalam. So fourth thing in Usul-e-Din is imamat. Imamat, of course, in dictionary means, Imam is rahbar, the leader, the guide. These are the words that you translate imamat with. But in istilah terminology, someone who is the successor of the last prophet. That's what who Imam is in our terminology. We believe Imam is someone who is a successor of Rasulullah, who is continuing the nubuwwat of Rasulullah in the form of imamat, because wahi has been disconnected. Wahi is no longer there. With that said, the same way nubuwwat is necessary after the discontinuation of the wahi from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what is necessary? Imamat is necessary. Without imamat, the world will not have that guide, that leader, that hadi which is needed. If a person does not believe in the wujud of imam or does not believe in the imamat of imam. So here I'll present why is imamat necessary. Now you may not need this proof, or maybe you do need this proof. In order to what? In order to make your own belief more and more firm, and in order to go ahead and be able to defend in front of those who challenge the concept of imamat. Why is imam necessary? Why is 5th imam necessary? Why is 10th imam necessary? First and foremost, the same reason given for nubuwwat is given over here as well. Imam is necessary because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's His lutf, it's His grace, it's His divine grace upon us that He gave us imamat. What do I mean? Let me elaborate. There's a qaida in ilm kalam called dalil-e-lutf. What is this dalil-e-lutf? The evidence of the argument of divine grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When a child is born, can this child survive on its own? Child needs constant care. I'm not even talking about medical care. That is separate. Outside of that medical care, child needs care from an adult in order for this child to survive the first few years of the life. Without someone caring for the child will not be able to survive. Will not be able to, live. Because cannot gain access to the things that he needs. Cannot do any of these things by himself, and therefore is definitely in need. So there's this qaida lutf that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us who? The parents or the guardians who take care of us while we are growing, as you take care of your children. Similarly, there's a qaida of lutf for nabuwwat, that when Allah created insan, He also created, due to this qaida lutf, that I have created insan, but out of my grace, I'm going to make sure that this insan survives and returns back to me in the state of prosperity. How is he going to return back to me in the state of prosperity? When he's given proper instructions. When he's given instructions from those who possess knowledge. This is what qaida lutf is in ilm kalam. In order for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to provide this, lutf to us, He created imams. The proof as to why imamat is necessary, let me remind you of the story of one of the companions of our 5th and 6th imam by the name Hisham ibn Hakam. Hisham was a very prominent companion of 5th and 6th imam, to the extent that there was this munazara that took place in the city of Basra. Hisham was a young man visiting. He heard that there's a man in the masjid who's answering the questions and who's against imamat, who's giving dalail and proofs against imamat. Just let me go hear what he has to say. As today there are people who do the same thing. So this name was Amr ibn Ubayd Mu'tazili, a scholar of that time. Hisham comes and he says, do I have the chance to ask questions? He says, yes, son, move forward. Whatever questions you have, go ahead and ask. He said, pardon me, my questions might be very basic. He said, that's okay. There's no right or wrong question. Go ahead and ask. And however basic they are, we'll answer them. He said, you're talking about the concept of imamat, disproving it. He said, I have some questions. I said, sure, go ahead. He said, do you have eyes? He said, I thought your questions were going to be, simple, but not this simple. He said, of course I have eyes. Can you not see? He said, no, just answer my questions. I'm building up, a muqaddama. He said, I do. He said, what do you do with your eyes? I see with them. He said, do you have a Tongue? He said, yes, I do. What do you do with it? I taste. Do you have ears? He said, I do. What do you do with them? I hear. Do you have hands? What do you do with them? I feel. Nose? I smell. All the five senses. Hisham goes one after another, one after another, one after another. People are getting bored. It's like, what's going on? Why is this person asking? Such simple questions. After 5 senses, Hisham asked him. He asked him, do you have a heart? He said, of course I do. Now, of course, in Arabic, heart, lub, fu'ad, qalb, aql, they're all the same. When you refer to someone has a very soft heart, they're not talking about the physical organ inside our body. When someone says that their heart is very qasawat-e qalbi, their heart has become hard, they're not talking about the physical heart that is inside our chest. They're referring to the hardening of the soul and the heart and the aql and the fu'ad and the lub, whatever you want to call it. He said, do you have a heart? He said, of course I do. So why is the heart there? Or why is the aql there? He said, aql is there that whenever I make a mistake with my eyes, the aql corrects me. Whenever I'm doubting what I heard, my aql corrects me. Whenever I doubt something as far as my other senses are concerned, my aql, my heart, filters it out and tells me this is right, this is not right. So then Hisham said, let me ask you one last question. This small body of yours, which has these independent organs that are there to see, hear, and do all of these things. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not leave them without a guide in the form of the heart, which filters out every time they're making a mistake. You think Allah created this universe and left all the people in it after Rasulullah left this world without a guide? When Allah does not leave a 5 foot, 6 foot tall person with these organs, when they're failing, when they're making a mistake, there's a heart there to correct them. You think this universe is without a heart that does not correct them? That question was raised, that man understood who this individual was. He answered the question and he submitted that how imamat is necessary after the nubuwwat has ended, just the way heart is necessary in the body of insan. Salawat biji Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Now, Prophet is compassionate to you. Quran speaks about it in Surah Tawbah 128. لَقَدْ جَاءَكُمْ رَسُولٌ مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ عَزِيزٌ عَلَيْهِ مَا عَنِتُّمْ حَرِيصٌ عَلَيْكُمْ بِالْمُؤْمِنِينَ. He's compassionate towards you. When someone is compassionate, they want to care for you. They want to take care of you. They don't want to neglect you. Rasulullah, on his travels outside of the city of Medina, he would appoint someone before leaving. You think Rasulullah would leave this world without appointing a successor and an imam? Second step in this regard. These are all the dalail and the proofs which are based on the ayat of Quran. Thus far, aside from that munazara, I have not mentioned anything outside. We look at what is the argument of imamat in Quran. The famous ayat of Surah Baqir, وَإِذِ ابْتَلَىٰ إِبْرَاهِيمَ رَبُّهُ بِكَلِمَاتٍ فَأَتَمَّهُنَّ إِنِّي جَاعِلُكَ لِلنَّاسِ إِمَامًا قَالَ وَمِن ذُرِّيَّتِي قَالَ لَا يَنَالُ عَهْدِ الظَّالِمِينَ. When Allah tested Ibrahim alayhi salam with different tests and he passed, Allah declared that I'm making you to be imam. So here first proof is Allah makes someone imam, not people. It's Allah's divine command that makes someone imam, not people who make someone imam. So Allah made Ibrahim imam. Now what was the tendency? Ibrahim wanted what? He wanted this imamah to stay in his dhurriyat, in his progeny. What did Allah respond by saying? La yanalu ahd al-zalimin. My covenant of this imamat does not reach out to those who are zalim. Fair enough. Let's look at the definition of zalim. I'll present to you 3 ayat of Quran which tells that who is a zalim. First ayat is from Surah Luqman. When Hazrat Luqman is giving mau'izah to his son. He said, Ya bunayya la tushrik billahi inna shirka la zulmun azim. Oh my son, do not associate partners with Allah. When you do shirk to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you've committed what? Shirk, zulm azim, a major zulm. So that's one category of zulm. Keep in mind. Number two, when a person oppresses another person, they're called zalim. The ayat of Quran says in Surah Shura 42, إِنَّمَا السَّبِيلُ عَلَى الَّذِينَ يَظْلِمُونَ النَّاسِ وَيَبْغُونَ فِي الْأَرْضِ بِغَيْرِ الْحَقِّ. So there's a group of people who do what? Zulm on other people. There's a group of people which are in charge. There's a group of people who are with power. What do? They do injustice and they do oppression to others, as we see in the world today. They're called zalimeen. The others are called mazlumeen. So this ayah says those humans who do zulm on others, they're called zalim. Number three, those who oppress their own souls. Because you and I, after hearing the first two ayat, we're thinking, okay, we're not zalim. Because our sabiqah is not zulm. We've never done shirk, nor have we done zulm on someone else. It's our mistake. We have done zulm on others. But nonetheless, if we are given free chit from the first two, the third one, Allah says those who have done zulm to their nufus. Ayat of Quran says what? Surah Fatir 32, فَمِنْهُمْ ظَالِمٌ لِنَفْسِهِ. Those who have done injustice to their own nufus. So you have three categories of zalimeen. Let's see if you can remember this. What's the first category of zulm? The one who does shirk to Allah is zalim. Second category, the one who oppresses another individual is called zalim. What is the third category? The one who does zulm to his own nafs, his own self. That person is considered to be zalim as well. These are the three categories. Now, with all honesty, we are created to achieve sa'adat-e ukhrawi, meaning what? The end prosperity is something which we all are sent to attain. How can we attain that prosperity if we don't cross the boundaries of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? وَمَنْ يَتَعَدَّى حُدُودَ اللَّهِ. Whoever exceeds the hudud of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, فَقَدْ ظَلَمَ نَفْسَهُ. So let's not cross the boundaries that are set by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. With this muqaddimah that I have for you. Yes, the punchline is coming. With this muqaddimah, the three categories of zalim that we have. Now look at all these are the manifestation of zalimeen. Result is 4 types of people. Who are these 4 types of people? It's very easy. Process of elimination. You deal with it all the time in your corporate world or in your exams. First is a group of people, those who committed sins from the beginning until the end of their life. They are definitely zalimeen. Number 2, those who committed sins in the beginning but did tawbah at the end. Third group is those who didn't commit sins in the beginning but did at the end. What is the last category? Those who never committed sins in their entire life. So you only have 4 categories, right? One who did zulm all their life. One who did it in the beginning but did tawbah at the end. You attain this prosperity. Second is the one who was fine in the beginning but lost his way at the end. And there are many examples of that. Talha and Zubair are there for you as prime examples. And then the last category of the group of people is those who never committed zulm and never committed a sin. There could not be a 5th category. Here the question is based on those 3 ayat that I mentioned as the example of zulm. According to Quran, the first 3 don't fit the criteria of imamat. Why? When Hazrat Ibrahim asked, what about my zurriyat? Allah responded clearly by saying, La yanalu ahdiz zalimin. My covenant does not reach out to those who are zalim. So the first category is zalim. Second category is zalim. Third category is also zalim. The 4th one is the only one who does not fit the category of zulm. Therefore, that is the Imam of the Ummah. Salawat biji Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So that is as far as the muqaddimah of zulm is concerned. I did not plan it to be 1, 2, 3, and 4 like this, but it ended up happening anyway on its own. One more loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. That is just the ayat of Quran that I quoted for you with references so that you can go back and see how we believe in this imam, or why do we believe in the concept of imamat. And it's part of our usul-e-deen and it's not part of our furu-e-deen. The second reason why we believe in imam is also because imam is someone who possesses ilm. It's not based on superiority, lineage, age, or any other reason. Because if the age was the criteria, you look at our 9th imam, he was only 9 years old when he became and assumed the responsibilities of imamat. When you look at our imam of our time, he was only 5 years old when he assumed the responsibilities of imam. Age has never been the criteria. Why? Quran talks about it. When you look at the story of Hazrat Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, he spoke while in the arms of the mother. Inni Abdullah atani al-kitab wa ja'alani nabiyya. Allah made me nabi while he's still in the cradle. When you speak about Hazrat Yahya, Allah says, khudil kitaba biquwwatin wa ataynahu al-hukma sabiyya. We gave him the hukm and the command and the shari'at and this nubuwwat when he was what? When he was just a mere child. So age has not been an obstacle when it comes to nubuwwat, nor is it an obstacle when it comes to imamat. But there's one thing that is added on to, even if they are young children, and that is the concept of ilm, that they possess this ilm. That's why you see in Surah Yunus 35, أَفَمَنْ يَهْدِي إِلَى الْحَقِّ أَحَقُّ أَنْ يُتَّبَعْ أَمَّنْ لَا يَهْدِي إِلَّا أَنْ يُهْدَى فَمَا لَكُمْ كَيْفَ تَحْكُمُونَ. How do you choose the one who is in need of hidayat himself? Do you want to make him to be your hadi, or the one who's guided from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Is he more befitting to be your imam? The answer is very simple. No, the one who's already given this gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is suitable for this imamat, and no one else is suitable for this imamat. Salawat biji Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Last thing in this regard, and I'll come towards conclusion. How do you choose this imam? I already mentioned the ayat. Allah says, Inni ja'iluka linnasi imam. So we know that Allah is the one who's choosing. Is there an election? Election seems to be a good thing in the democratic world. Majority wins the votes and they become the leader. But guess what? Quran has actually condemned on 80 occasions majority. 80 occasions, not one or two, so it's not a coincidence. On 80 occasions, Quran has condemned majority, so never go after the majority. Aksariyat is never a dalil for someone's righteousness, and aqalliyat is never a dalil for anyone's butlan. Neither aksariyat proves that someone is right, nor aqalliyat proves that someone is wrong. Why? Quran says, وَإِن تُطِعْ أَكْثَرَ مَنْ فِي الْأَرْضِ يُضِلُّوكَ عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. If you were to follow the majority in the world, they will most surely lead you toward the wrong path. So majority has never been the reason as far as the imamat is concerned. Imamat is a divine place, divine position, continuation of nubuwwat, in the form of those who will be hadiyan-e-barhaq, chosen by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The second imam for whom we are celebrating here tonight is our 10th imam, Imam Ali al-Naqi al-Hadi alayhi salatu wassalam. You know, there's one interesting fact about 5th imam that no other imam has. I'm sure many of you will remember when I say this, that he's the only imam who's Husseini from his father's side, and he's Hassani from his mother's side. No other imam has that position, that he's the son of Ali ibn al-Hussein, and he's the son of Fatima bint Hassan. Imam Hassan's daughter is mother of 5th imam, and Imam Hussein's son is the father of 5th imam. He's the only imam who connects to both Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein in this regard. That is only exclusive for Imam Baqir. Third, this Imam of ours that we're speaking about is 10th Imam, who of course also in regards to the proof of his imamat. Just one story and I'll conclude. That story is that there was a man who was sent from Isfahan to Mutawakkil. This man, his name is mentioned, Abdul Rahman. He was a follower of Madhab Tashayyu. They asked him, what is the sabab that awjaba alayka al-qawlu bi imamati Ali ibn Naqi? Why do you believe in the imamat of Ali ibn Naqi? What is the proof? Why do you believe in his imamat? Duna ghayrihi, and you don't believe in anyone else's imamat in that time. فَقَالَ شَاهَدْتُ مَا يُوجِبُ عَلَيَّ ذَلِكَ. He said, I witnessed something with my own eyes that made this to be obligatory upon me. Meaning what? Imamat became apparent to me on its own. I didn't have to go study. He said, how? He said, I was a faqir and I was jari, I had jur'at and I spoke. So people of Isfahan sent me to the court of Mutawakkil. I arrived in the court of Mutawakkil. While we were standing there, I found out that Mutawakkil has called upon Ali ibn Muhammad al-Rida. That means our 10th Imam. And then I said, who is this Ali ibn Muhammad al-Rida? Someone told me that it is the Imams of the Rafidah. That's how they used to refer. He said, وَنَقْدِرُ أَنَّ مُتَوَكِّلْ يُحُضِرُهُ لِلْقَطْرِ. It is possible that Mutawakkil has called him so that he can go ahead and kill him. Because usually Mutawakkil called people and they would take their lives. He said, قُلْتُ لَا أَبْرَهُ مِنْ هَا هُنَا حَتَّى أَنْظُرَ إِلَى هَذَا الرَّجُلِ. I won't move from my place until I see him, who this man is that people are talking about. أَيِّ رَجُلْ هُوَ قَالَ فَأَقْبَلَ رَاكِبًا عَلَى فُرُسٍ وَقَدْ قَامَ النَّاسُ صَفَّيْنِ يُمْنِهِ الطَّرِيقِ وَيُسْرِهَا. He said, as soon as I was thinking about it, this man appeared on his horse. People moved to the right side and people moved to the left side, and he started coming. He said, فَلَمَّا رَأَيْتُهُ, when I looked at him, وَقَفْتُ فَأَبْصَرْتُهُ فَوَقَى حُبُّهُ فِي قَلْبِي. He said, as soon as I laid my eyes on this man, as if his love was put into my heart. Just merely looking at him. Right away, I had this intense love emerge in my heart just by looking at his face. And he said, فَجَعَلْتُ عَدُؤُ لَهُ فِي نَفْسِي. I started making dua in my nafs, in my heart. بِأَنْ يَدْفَعَ اللَّهُ عَنْهُ شَرَّ الْمُتَوَكِّلِ. May Allah remove the shar and the evil of Mutawakkil from him. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep him safe. Because this man does not deserve to be killed. Look at him. He said, I made this dua in my heart. فَلَمَّا صَارَ إِلَيَّ أَقْبَلَ عَلَيَّ بِوَجْهِهِ. He said, as soon as he passed by me, he stopped, turned around, looked at me, and he said, إِسْتَجَابَ اللَّهُ دُعَاكَ. Allah accepted your dua. He said, I said that in my heart. Oh Allah, this man is so nice, so good. Why does Mutawakkil want to kill him? Oh Allah, protect this man. I said that in my heart. Imam walked past me, turned around, looked at me, and he said, Istajab Allahu laka dua. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has heard your dua. And he has accepted your dua. Nothing will happen to me. And then Imam said what? Tawwil umraka wa kathir malaka wa waladaka. May Allah increase your wealth. May Allah give you long life. And may Allah grant you many children. He said, I came back from there to Isfahan. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave me so much mal that I was able to help out hundreds and hundreds of people afterwards. He gave me so much rizq that I was able to help out hundreds of people. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also granted me many children. After that, وَأَنَا أَقُولُ بِإِمَامَةِ هَذَا الَّذِي alima ma fi qalbi wastajab Allahu du'a li. And that is the reason I believe in his imamat, that I made a dua in my heart. He knew what dua was and he approved and he said, yes, Allah has heard your dua. What could be the bigger proof that this is the Imam of the time, this is the representative of Allah of the time? Who else could be the representative who's able to hear what the dua I'm making in my heart? Salawat biji Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So that is in a gist, brothers and sisters, imamat for us. Why we believe in this concept. This is not a concept which is created by this madhab-e-tashayyu. Rather, it is the core belief. That is the riwayat which I shared in the beginning for you. That Imam said, Buni al-Islamu ala khamsin. The bunyad and the foundation of Islam is on 5 things. Salat is one, zakat is one, hajj is one, zakat is one, vilayat is one. And Allah does not call upon the first 4 the way He calls upon the vilayat of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salatu wassalam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the tawfiq and ability to be able to reaffirm our faith and belief in the Imams and the imamat of our Imams. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep our faith strong in the imamat of Imam of our time, Imam Mahdi ajjalallahu ta'ala farajahu sharif. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the tawfiq and ability to celebrate and commemorate the wiladat and the shahadat of Masumeen. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us amongst the mawali of Aimai Athar. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to hasten the reappearance of our weighted Imam. Make us amongst the helpers and the soldiers of Imam. Wa akhiru da'wan alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. Inna Allaha wa malaikatahu salluna ala nabi. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. Mutawajjih ziyarat. Assalamu alaikum ya Rasulallah, assalamu alaikum ya Nabi Allah, assalamu alaikum ya Habib Allah, assalamu alaikum ya Khiratullah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum ya Aba Abdullah, assalamu alaikum ibn Rasulullah, assalamu alaikum wa ala jaddika wa abika wa ala ummika wa akhika wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum ya Gharib al-Ghuraba, assalamu alaikum ya Mu'in al-Du'afa wal-Fuqara, assalamu alaikum ya Shams al-Shumus wa Anis al-Nufus. Ayyuha al-Madfun bi'ardatu Salib ibn Musarrada wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. A few words from the ziyarat of our 10th Imam. Assalamu alayka ya Abul Hasan Ali ibn Muhammad al-Zaki al-Rashid al-Nur al-Thaqib wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alayka ya Safi Allah. Assalamu alayka ya Sirr Allah. Assalamu alayka ya Hablullah. Assalamu alayka ya Al Allah. Assalamu alayka ya Khiratullah. Assalamu alayka ya Sifatullah. Assalamu alayka ya Amin Allah. Assalamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaykum sahib al-asr wal zaman. Assalamu alaykum imam al-insi wal jan. Assalamu alaykum sharik al-Quran. Ajjal Allah ta'ala farajak wa sahhal Allah makhrajak wa dhuhurak wa ja'alana min awanik wa ansarik wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.